everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex of Coyote Star Astrology, and this is my new moon in Sagittarius video for the new moon in Sagittarius on December 14th, 2020, if you're on Pacific Standard Time. However, please do adjust for your current location on planet Earth. This is also a total solar eclipse. So we've got a new moon and an eclipse. And I do feel like this eclipse is going to bring in some sort of like much anticipated and important information that a lot of us are waiting for in our personal lives that is going to lead to action in the days following and clearing out the rest of the month. And we'll go into why that is, but I say this just because we've got a lot to talk about this eclipse, or this video. We've got this new moon, we've got the eclipse, we've got the great conjunction on the 21st, and we've got Mars clearing its last square with Pluto. So there is this buildup happening, and we've had a lot of energy squaring the nodes, so there's a lot of confusion in general. There's confusion around the media, there's confusion around information, there's confusion around what steps to take next, and confusion around what is just around the corner. I think we can all feel that there's this new energy just around the corner. Great conjunction has a lot to do with that. So we're going to talk about a lot today. But I wanted to just kind of start with how this eclipse is going to affect us personally. Then we'll move into more of how it's going to feel on a collective level. And then we'll go into the great conjunction. And as I was saying, I do feel like this eclipse, because of the strong Mercury placement in the chart, will bring in some information, as I said, that will guide actions during the eclipse and definitely in the week following. So if you've been waiting to kind of know what direction you're headed in, if you've been feeling confused, this eclipse is a good little marker and kind of little portal to wait for, to see what message Mercury has for you. And I do apologize, my voice is still recovering. I got a little cold. I'm totally fine. I've learned that getting a little flu during all of this that we're going through is quite different from getting the flu in the past. People are pretty afraid of you, and rightfully so. But no, I'm totally fine. I had a little cold. I ran myself into the ground. I was packing and moving and inhaling dust and not getting much sleep. So I'm on the mend. And but yes, so my voice is a little bit strange this video. Sorry. Okay. So let's look at this eclipse. Well, it is a south node energy. Notice we have this little cluster around the south node. That's the moon, the sun, Mercury, and the south node gate. The south node deals with the past. So south node eclipses can definitely bring up the past in certain ways. This can be a visitation from a theme from the past, or a person from the past, a belief from the past. Thematically, this eclipse has a lot to do with beliefs, because we have so much Sagittarius energy. But yeah, so south node eclipses can bring up the past, but it's about breaking free of the past, because having all of these planets around the south node is generating an incredible amount of energy that is pulsing the energy towards that north node in the direction of evolution, which is about clearing, breaking old patterns, closure, moving through any resistance. The south node is where we can become resistant to change, where we can want to dig our heels in and say, no, I'm scared. I don't know. I don't know if I can make this jump in my life. It can be where we can be on repeat. And anytime we have an activation around the south node eclipse, it's this natural process of really sort of needing to leave that behind, or leave behind anything that has become dysfunctional or is just not really in alignment anymore, you know? And it's also about exalting that area of the chart, bringing that archetype into its exaltation, which is about coming into the highest level of Sagittarius, which is the adventurer, the seeker, the nomad, the archetype that is all about optimism and seeing life as the hero's journey, this incredible experience, and leaving fear behind. And the north node, of course, is about the unknown. It's about something alien and strange and experimental. When it's in Gemini, it definitely requires us to have some flexibility in the way that we're looking at things and not get too stuck in old beliefs. Sagittarius is about beliefs. And a lot of people say, when they're talking about Sagittarius, and they're not wrong, but a lot of people say Sagittarius is about the truth. And I just wait. I know on the day of the new moon, there's going to be all these posts out there from different astrologers saying that this is a new moon where we can figure out the truth. And there's some issues that I have with that based on not only just the archetype itself by its nature, but also because of the chart. Sagittarius is here to understand the world. That's what Sagittarius is here to do. It wants to understand, what is this life experience? How did I get here? Why am I here? Is there a God? If there is, what is it? So Sagittarius is about the journey around those questions, and each soul, dependent on where that soul is in its individual evolution in this human experience, is going to go about that journey differently. Right? We have so many different world religions, so many different cultures, different languages, different stories, different backgrounds, and Sagittarius, many of them explore them all. But some of them latch on to one belief, one religion. The ninth house ruled by Sagittarius in the chart can be all forms of dogma, extremism around a belief system. This is the truth and the one truth. I have found it. I know the meaning of life. That's like big Sag energy. But there's a little problem with that, because, and this brings me back to when people say Sag is about truth. I don't agree with that, because Sagittarius is on the quest for truth, but that truth is based on interpretation. I think that the word interpretation ought to be used with the word Sagittarius a lot more frequently than it is. And I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm calling myself out right now. We think we know everything. And anyone that knows me personally is laughing when they listen to this, because like I totally carry that vibration at certain moments in my life. And we do know some shit. We definitely do. Sagittarius is associated with wisdom, but we are on the search for truth along with everyone else. And the downfall of Sagittarius is becoming dogmatic about our beliefs and sometimes needing to learn that hard lesson of, I actually don't know everything, which is why Gemini opposes Sagittarius. Gemini is about diversity of opinion, a different point of view, seeing the other side. It's the twins, variety, flexibility. The North Node of the collective right now is in Gemini. The entire collective, since the nodes went into Sag and Gemini earlier this year, have you noticed that everybody seems to know everything? Everyone knows the truth right now. They're sure of it. The collective has been learning the lesson and will continue to realize, wait, maybe I don't know everything. And that's, if you're able to get into that place of realizing that, there's still a lot to learn, then you are actively embracing the exalted version of Sagittarius and Gemini. And it's going to serve you really well in the times that we're in. Because the North Node is very clearly pointing us in that direction, saying this is where the collective evolution is directed at the moment. So I will just say, during this new moon in Sagittarius, this eclipse, there's probably going to be a lot of people talking and thinking that they know the truth, because Mercury has a very strong placement in this eclipse. It is at 20 degrees Sagittarius in a very know-it-all position, but there's a little problem. Mercury is square Neptune, the planet of illusion, lies, fantasy, deceit. So that's why it's super important that we break down these charts, because just at first glance, oh, there's a bunch of Sag, it's going to be the truth. Well, first of all, it's at the South Node. So this might be an old truth, an outdated version of the truth, and it's being squared by Neptune. Isn't that interesting? So it might be a lie. And at the very least, it might just be kind of weird, or like not seem, might be hard to tell if it's true or not, right? So I do anticipate there being a lot of people on their soapbox. And in our own life, noticing what comes through that might be from the past. Is it a past belief, a past fear that I need to evolve out of and try something new? Do I need to go on a new journey? Sagittarius Gemini axis brings up travel, short journeys, siblings, neighbors, communication. Lots about communication here, about beliefs. So God, you guys are probably as tired as I am of people fighting and stuff on social media about beliefs. But it does carry a lot of that energy, this eclipse. Okay, and so it is a very action-oriented eclipse as well, because it is a solar energy. It's a solar eclipse. Solar eclipses have to do with sort of yang, action-based, action-oriented energies. Lunar energies are more yin, more internal. So this is an eclipse that has to do with action. It is also in beautiful trine to Mars in Aries. That's nice. That's the best energy we have had around Mars in a long time. So this is like, I want to move ahead now. Mars in Aries is very instinctual. So we may be feeling an instinctual need to make a decision. And the decision is likely to require us stepping away from an old way of doing things into a new way of doing things, experimenting, growing. The North Node is about our desires. So this is about our desires and what we want, but it requires evolution. And I do see, because following the eclipse, if we follow it forward, every day Mars gets closer and closer to square to Pluto, which will be exact, I believe, on the Great Conjunction. Yes, of course it is. Yeah, so Mars will be in its final square to Pluto during the Great Conjunction on December 21st. This is a challenge. Mars square Pluto is a challenge. It tests our strength. It tests our endurance. It tests our will. And this is Mars. So this is about where we want to go, what we want to do. And Pluto has had Mars under its thumb off and on for months. We've been between a rock and a hard place. It's been a ride. And this is Mars pushing through its final thrust to get away from Pluto. So it may be the more intense wave. We'll see. That's kind of what it feels like energetically to me, that there's this final like, ugh, and it just like pushes away from Pluto. Whatever comes through this eclipse, because it's right before that final square on the 21st, whatever message comes through seems to be the energy that Mars then harnesses to make that final break away. Which is why I kind of said at the beginning, if you've been waiting to make a decision or trying to find out your direction and it's been confusing, which I can certainly understand why it has been looking at these aspects, that moment is likely, or that eclipse is likely to bring in some answers, and then that'll lead to action, Mars action through the Great Conjunction on December 21st. Okay, so collectively, on the big stage, obviously there's going to be a message. There's going to be some declaration or telegram or headlines. It's going to be big because Mercury, the cosmic messenger, is very strongly placed in this chart. It's an action-oriented message because of the trine of Mars. So it's about, we're going to do something, or something's going to happen, or this is where we're going from here. But it's from the South Node, so there's something about it that's kind of like from the past or outdated, and the square to Neptune suggests that we ought to be very careful about what we believe. Plain and simple. And the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and look at Jupiter. It's wrapped up, it's sandwiched between Pluto and Saturn. So I know Jupiter is normally a benefic, but not right now. Jupiter is in a Capricorn pileup. It's wrapped up with the patriarchy and the old system and this dense energy of these systems and authority figures that frankly are abusing their control and their position of power. So this message is connected to that area of the chart. So we want to be very wary, but also grateful, because whatever it is naturally will serve its place in the process to push that energy to the North Node. So we needn't worry, because whatever it is going to be important for the process, for the new direction we're all headed in. But use discernment and be wary of false prophet, false guru energies. That is a dark side of Sagittarius, is someone claiming to know the truth, potentially even having a following of people that agree with them, but it not being the truth. That's kind of what this energy looks like. I'm not going to lie. And there might be a lot of power behind it because of the trine to Mars, but we'll see. Okay, so I know a lot of people want to know what's going on with the Great Conjunction, and we are finally there. I've been waiting to talk about it because we are going to be talking about Aquarius energy so much. I just want to show you guys real quick, actually, what month should I pick? I think March was the big one. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, look at February. In February, we have Saturn, Venus, the Moon, Jupiter, Mercury, and the Sun in Aquarius on the 10th of February, 2021, Pacific Standard Time. So this is why I've been holding off on talking about Aquarius, because we're going to be talking about Aquarius so much. You're going to be so sick of the word Aquarius. But can't be any more sick of it than I am sick of saying the word Capricorn. You have no idea. I'm so excited that Saturn and Jupiter are leaving on the Great Conjunction. So, Great Conjunction, much anticipated date, December 21st. So many people have been asking me, what does this mean? What is this going to feel like? Well, Saturn and Jupiter will be at the same degree in Aquarius, 0 degrees. So this does suggest an entirely new energy. So positively, I think we can expect it to feel much different. We are moving more so away from the dense earth lead-like energies of Capricorn, and we're moving more into the air information-based energies of Aquarius. So that's going to feel different for sure. But Saturn and Jupiter at the same degree, they're really kind of like forming a singular entity. They are merging their energies. Jupiter makes anything it touches larger than life. I always say it's like putting whatever it's touching or whatever it's standing with under a magnifying glass. And Saturn rules governments and authorities and the structures that are put in place on the 3D density, the third density level that keep things in line, right? So laws, restrictions, etc. So, and Aquarius is technology, it's innovative, it's progressive. It has to do with science. So there is this explosive Aquarian energy that enters the field. However, there's a lot around it that does have to do with governments and systems of control. Probably not what a lot of us wanted to hear, but that's at the third density. And this is sort of what I've been feeling. I know some other astrologers are sort of mirroring what I've been feeling as well. And I channeled a message about this on my Instagram. I'll put my Instagram up on the screen right now if some of you guys don't follow me there. It's Earth to Coyote. And I do a lot of astrology in my stories. So on the third density, we may be dealing with the more dense energies of Aquarius. So why don't we go through that first, which again is the lower frequency. It's not, the most fun, but let's get it out of the way. So lower frequency of Aquarius. Emotional detachment. Aquarius is objective. It's not empathic. It doesn't care so much around feelings as it does just information. It's very cerebral and intelligent, but it's really out of the heart space and more in the mind, right? So emotional detachment. The more dense energies of Aquarius deal with the darker side of technology. The merging of man with machine and the lessons that come along with that. As collectively we move into new areas around technology and what our place is within that. And because Saturn is involved, this can also be authority utilizing tech, science, and innovation to control populations or enforce mandates, etc. When Saturn went into Aquarius in the beginning of 2020, we had our first lockdown. FIVEG was also a big theme around those times. So we may see a reemergence of that theme as well. So this is the more dense aspect of Aquarius. Saturn was the original ruler of Aquarius. And a lot of people don't realize that, and they talk about Aquarius like it's going to be all like higher kind of spiritual stuff. And there's definitely a lot of that, and I'm going to get to that now. But remember, Saturn was the original ruler of Aquarius. So there is an icy, like almost stainless steel-like side to Aquarius. Every archetype has a dark side. And this is the dark side of Aquarius. It's like staring into the eyes of AI, of a robot. No emotion. The higher frequency of Aquarius. Let's talk about that. So, the higher frequency of Aquarius is ultimate intelligence. Because Aquarius is Kundalini activation. It is an antenna to the Akashic, access to every memory of everything that's ever occurred in existence. Aquarius is communication with star nations. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is the awakener. So this is going to be humanity awakening more to who we actually are as a race. Where do we come from? What is the truth about where we come from? It's about tech and advancements in technology that ensure our survival in the future. And it's about community. Aquarius is about community. And I know that our friendships and our relationships have really kind of gone through a challenge this year. The South Node in Sagittarius with having to do with belief systems and the North Node in Gemini, there has been a splitting of a lot of friendships as many people have gone separate ways due to their separate beliefs. The Jupiter-Saturn conjunction for many will be the ushering in of new community based on these upgraded vibrations. And we will see that be a huge theme for 2021. Finding community that is resonant with our soul, building community for the future. And this is, I don't want to make this video too long, but this is one point that I'm sure we will talk about a lot next year, but I feel it's been coming through so strong for me, and I feel like it's so important. Aquarius is the visionary. It has beautiful visions for the future. But like I said, there's an aspect around the heart and emotions that can get out of balance. And the natural balancing of Aquarian energy is Leo, because Leo opposes Aquarius. Leo is about creative expression and confidently being who we are, displaying who we really are to the world with confidence, being seen in our expression artistically, embracing the true essence of our personality, not hiding anything. So we can balance the Aquarian energies through our unique creative expression by embracing Leo, and also we will attract and magnetize new community and strengthen existing connections through expressing who we really are. People that will understand you can't find you if you're not expressing who you really are. You're not putting it out there. Aquarius is the rebel. Aquarius is kind of the freak, right? So we're going to see a lot of that in 2021 as well. A lot of people really expressing themselves in new directions. Aquarius is about breaking free of the old systems. It evolves out of Capricorn. So we are headed in a very, very, very new direction. And it's so requiring of us all that we embrace our true Leo essence, embrace our true personality, and expose that to the world bravely so that others can see us and find us and celebrate us, as well as this new world really needing us all to bring our visions forth so that we can build it. And that, of course, requires bravery and a willingness to be seen authentically, Leo. All right, I think I'm going to leave it there. I told you guys we had a lot to talk about. This conjunction on December 21st is an energetic upgrade. We are all energetically being upgraded. Even if you don't feel it, I think a lot of people will feel it, but even if you don't feel it, know that you are being upgraded. And with the transference of energy into Aquarius, it becomes even more important to master our mind, because Aquarius is so cerebral, and also really do the work around clearing our energy field, only allowing certain energies into our field. And the highest frequency of Aquarius is psychic attunement, incredible revelations and experiences. Again, Kundalini activation. So people are going to be waking up. You're going to be noticing more synchronicities and more magical occurrences than ever before. So lots to look forward to, but there's also going to be some dense, weird ass Aquarius energies, and we've got to be prepared for that. But know that it's all happening for a reason. It's all part of the breakdown and the breakthrough and the awakening, and it's going to be awesome. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Thank you so much for listening and tuning into my little corner of the internet. I love you guys so much. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and a share. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to reach out to me for a reading, I'm putting my website up there on the screen, coyotestarastrology.com. I have information for what I offer there, and that's also where you can reach out to me. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.